So excited to show you this today. This is for business owners who are looking to get a better website of their own so that they can get more leads, more inquiries, and therefore end up with more customers. And what this is a lot of the time people, when they're thinking of a website, they're thinking, well, how much is a website? How much does it cost? Or when they're thinking of a digital marketing agency or someone to do their Facebook ads, their Google ads, they're like, how much does it cost? So today we're going to look at the pricing of how to invest appropriately in a website, site engine optimization, Google Ads, Facebook ads. All right, so full transparency, I run my own digital marketing agency. It's called Athletic Koala. People want different prices for different things, and people ask, well, how much does it cost? It's like, well, it depends what you need, because the pricing for, say, someone who he's an electrician, he's a one-man show, he just needs more residential sales. The pricing for him is going to be very different from, say, someone who, I don't know, owns a massive childcare center and their revenue's in the millions, and they're going to have to spend a lot of money, like $100,000 a year on marketing, So it depends on a lot of factors. So let's have a look at what they are. So the first thing is, it's like, the first question I would ask someone is, what are your actual goals? Like, why are you in this spot where you're coming and chatting with me? And generally people will say, because I need more sales. I need more clients. And okay, so what have you done? What haven't you done? And usually you can hear that they've either done a lot of good things with their website and with marketing, or they haven't. And if they've done a lot of good things, then that's going to change the price, because I don't have to do as much work. I can take what they've already done and I can just tweak things and add to it and see what works. Whereas if they've never done any decent marketing and they've got a rubbish website from 5 years ago that was made by some 19-year-old relative, it's like, well, I've got to start from scratch there. And I'm happy to do that, but I'm going to charge accordingly. Also, I'm going to look at what industry are they in. Are they aiming at, the whole of Australia for selling, I don't know, prams? That's very competitive. I'd have to produce something amazing to get them a result in a short period of time. Or are they aiming locally? Like, I don't know, a local cafe. Well, their catchment area is, 5 kilometers of wherever they are. That's pretty easy. They don't have a lot of competition, or the competition they do have, it's not going to be very effective. Okay, I know that with a limited amount of effort, we can get them doing well in Google. We can draw some attention to what they do. So what are the factors? Factors are things like, what industry, is it someone who is looking to, like, I was talking to someone earlier in the week, they've got a $2.4 million revenue target. Obviously, if you're looking at generally spending about 5% of your revenue on marketing, that would make it $120,000 that they should be spending on marketing if they want to grow. Okay, if they don't want to grow, they don't have to do that. But if you want to grow, you'd usually assume about 5%. 5% well spent is better than 10% poorly spent. So, okay, for 120 grand for the year, a lot of that will go to, say, Facebook ads or Google ads, potentially. I think Facebook ads for him. And they'll need a really good website. Now, I looked at their website. It's pretty good in a lot of ways. It's not site engine optimized. So it's a quality website, but Google doesn't know it's a quality website. So there's a bit of work to be done there, but I don't have to build his website from scratch. Okay. It makes my life a lot easier. So I'll obviously charge less for that. So I guess, how long's a piece of string? Someone said to me, a couple of weeks ago, he's like, yes, I need a new website. Because I showed him what was broken with his website, and there was a lot broken. There's so much that he could do, and then he's struggling in business because his marketing's atrocious. And it doesn't have to be. We can fix that, and probably will. So he's like, well, how much is it going to cost? I'm like, well, what are your goals? Like, writing to someone an email, how much will it cost? Like, I don't know what his goals are. What's his revenue target? Like, is his goal to grow, or is it just to have enough work that he doesn't have to lay off staff? What's his goals? So I wrote back to him, it could be three grand, could be 33 grand. Like, I don't know what your goals are, and it depends on his time frame as well. Because I imagine that over the course of like a year or two, we could do so much with him, and it'd make such a difference. If he just wants a website, well, that's not going to cost much. So there's these factors. Now, people are very hesitant to put their pricing on their website because they're like, I don't want someone holding me to account for saying it'll be this much money when it's not it's not that. And I understand that, but you also need to be a bit transparent and show people, well, these are the factors, you know. Another factor is urgency. If someone wants a website built yesterday, we're going to charge for it because we have to pause our other work and solve it fast for them, and we'll charge a premium for that. If someone's not in a rush, because let's be honest, it took them a long time to get in this bad spot, it's going to take them a little while to work their way out of it. But a good website and appropriate site engine optimization is part of that. They're not in a rush. That's a factor. Another factor that people won't normally tell you is the availability of their team. So if I've got a staff member who I know doesn't really have enough work at the moment, and he's putting his extra, I guess, excess time into some extra training, well, I'd love to get that guy well used. I'll probably find a way of working things in a new client's favor so that I can get him used and his time used effectively. So there are these factors. There's also things like, is the client going to be good to work with? Psychologists are renowned for not being fun to work with, because psychologists have a reputation for wanting to tell people what they're going to do. It's like, hold on, I'm the expert. I'll take your content and then let me get it out to the world in the form that they're going to want it. I can't talk in psychologist talk, okay? If you're a psychologist, please don't sue me. But the reality is that some clients are just great to work with and some are not. So it's a real factor of like, you know, do I want this work? You know, another thing is, as you scale, as an organization scales, they don't want the little jobs anymore. So if you're talking to someone who does websites and they've only done 3 websites in their life, they'll take you at any scale. If you're talking to someone who works with, 100 companies and you've just got something little, a lot of the time it's not worth their time. That if you don't have a big enough budget, it's not worth it to them. So long story short, well, how much is it going to cost to have a digital marketing agency, or to have someone come and give us a great website, give us great site engine optimization? How much is it going to cost for someone to run our Google ads? It's like, well, what are your goals for your Google ads? Have you got a budget for the year of $30,000 you're willing to spend on Google ads? Or do you have a budget of $3,000? Because if it's $3,000, it's sort of like set and forget. You build something, you test it, and then you won't have to do much. But if someone wants to spend $30,000 in a year, or an organization I know has spent like hundreds of thousands of dollars that I work with a year on their Google ads, my goodness, every dotted I needs to be dotted, every T needs to be crossed, because 2% inefficiency at that scale is big money. Everything's got to be spot on. So obviously it's going to cost a lot more to get that work done for them. Same with Facebook ads. It's like some industries are are really easy to make Facebook ads for. Some are difficult, and things like Google and Facebook, they've got policies that really cramp your style. If you're a chemist, for example, you're trying to use Google ads, you're going to come up against all these policy issues, which if you're a legitimate chemist, you can get around, but it's a lot of work to get around them. Google's not going to like a lot of your ads. It's going to be high maintenance. Compare that to a roofer, a guy who makes roofs. You're like, Google doesn't care what you say. There's nothing weird about being a roofer. Same with, say, any financial advice. If you're an accountant, you should be okay with Google policies and Facebook policies. But if you're, say, a financial planner, whoa, okay. So if I'm working for a financial planner, I'm going to charge like the lights need to be kept on or something, because I don't want the hassle of every ad I create, Google or Facebook pushes back and says, no, can't do that. You phrased it wrongly, because that's what it's like. It's like trying to negotiate with someone who's like, oh. So there are industries that are easy. There's industries that are hard. If someone wants Google ads or Facebook ads to go all over Australia, fine. That's pretty easy. If someone wants something very targeted, I know I'm going to have to work a lot harder to get them enough, to get enough eyeballs. If, like that local cafe that I was talking about, it's got a radius of 5 kilometers. It's hard. You've got to be really good at, in some ways it's easy because the competition will be rubbish, and otherwise it's hard because you've got to be really good at your craft. You've only got a small catchment area. If your catchment area is anyone in Australia, well, that makes it easier. I hope this is useful to you. I hope you're seeing all the factors that go into pricing. This is what happens under the hood. This is what happens behind the curtain when your website guy's trying to work out your price. Have a look in the description below. I've got a whole heap of other resources, but pricing, I don't know how to be more transparent than this. These are some of the factors. There's There's so much that's important. I think the real thing here is, though, is don't think price. Think, if I put in $10,000 of marketing, am I going to get 50,000 back? Or if I put in 100,000, am I going to get 500,000 back? Or if I just put in $1,000, will I get 5,000 back? Marketing money should multiply itself about 5 times over. Okay, obviously there's some industries where it's not going to do that, but about 5 times over. So the real question here is not so much what's the pricing, it's, are these people going to get me the result? Okay, now if you look in the description below, there's heaps of things that you could be doing right now, even without my help, that are going to get you some good results with your marketing, with your website, with your site engine optimization, with your Facebook ads, with your Google ads. There's so many resources down there. Go and get them. I made them for you. Enjoy. But if you get stuck, get in touch. We're here to help. Okay, have a look down below, enjoy, and go and grow your business.